Good evening, everybody. Okay, I'm going to be as brief as possible because we've spent quite some time here. So I'm going to be talking about developing executive presence in the workplace. And when people hear something like executive presence, the first thing that comes to their mind is, this is for managers, this is for the big boys, or this is for the big ladies. No. You can develop executive presence even as a new intake in an organization. And 80% of what I'm going to be saying today will be based on my own personal story. I started my banking career in 2001 and got confirmed, got promoted, and all of that. Within 2 years of joining the bank, I was told to become a team leader. And I was asking myself, I was an ET. And before I was asked to become a team leader, what my boss said then was that, you're too strong to be a backup. I said, me is strong. I was even an ET, I wasn't even promoted. I didn't know what they saw in me to think that I could be a team leader at that stage in my banking career. Now, executive presence is simply about how you carry yourself. It has to do with your level of self-confidence and, of course, your competency level. And how you carry yourself will determine how people see you, the perception they have about you, and how they choose to deal with you. Now, perception becomes reality to anybody who deals with you. Their perception might be right, it might be wrong. Now, let me even ask a question. When I walked up to this stage, or when you saw me walk through the bar to my seat, could anybody just tell me one thing that went through their mind? Just one person or two. Could somebody volunteer? Can you speak up from there? Oh yes, I'm actually a mother of twins, as a matter of fact. So you guessed correctly. Yes. But something else about maybe the way I looked. Could anybody just tell me? Did you wonder why this person was coming to the front? What did you say? Yes, please.
She sat right here when she came in at first. I actually watched her walking through and I said, look at this smart, young looking lady, even in her pregnancy. Then I looked at her stomach again. I said, this must be the 3rd trimester. That's the very last one. That's my impression.
Good. Your analysis, you're quite exact. Okay, I'm actually in my 3rd trimester, but I had to be here. It wasn't easy waking up this morning, so apologies, I actually walked in late. You know, one of those days when you wake up and you're not sure which one is your left leg and which one is your right leg. But I was determined to be here, okay? Now, when you walk into, okay, all right. Hey! I watch you on channels all the time.
Oh, listen, now I have to pass judgment on you. I felt a very consequential person who was heavy, but walked in here determined to learn. I never knew you were able to have to come to speak to us.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, now when you walk into a room, in psychology, you create what is called a threshold effect. People quickly judge you based on your tribe, your age, your academic qualification, your social status, and they will decide whether they like you or not. Period. And guess what? Nobody sent you. The bad news is they do it to you. The good news is that you do it to everybody. Because you don't plan to. So what do? You have to ensure that the way you comport yourself, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you talk, will open doors for you and not shut doors against you. Perception is everything. People look at you and they guess you are competent. Until they interact with you, they can never really say whether you are competent or not. True or false? You see someone, because the person flashes you a very warm smile. You say she's friendly. She might be nasty eventually. Maybe she's just having a very good day. Maybe she just liked something on you, and that was why she smiled at you. But as far as you're concerned, she is a friendly person. Okay? So executive presence is about your appearance, your behavior, and your communication. For you to develop a very strong executive presence, you also need to develop a personal brand. When we are talking about branding, we are talking about what something is known for. If you see any orange diary, who do you think that belongs to? If you see a yellow diary, very bright yellow diary, who does it belong to? Simple, red. Zenith Bank and the like, but their logos are always unique. So this brings me to how to develop a personal brand. There must be something remarkably unique about you. You cannot be follow and build a brand. There must be something unique about you, that whenever people interact with you, they will know that I didn't expect anything less from this person. 2, you must be authentic. You must be real. You just have to be real. 3, you must be consistent. People need to be sure what to expect from you. You cannot deliver an excellent job today and tomorrow you deliver a shoddy job. It waters down your brand. Whenever you taste Coke by Coca-Cola, you know the taste you expect, true or false? The same taste you expect in Usuka is the taste you expect in Lagos. It's the same taste you expect in Meduguri, right? That is consistency. And then if something goes wrong, you're like, this must be fake Coke. I'm sure this must be adulterated. Because you don't even expect Coke to make something like that. And what happens when you have developed a very strong personal brand for yourself? People like you so much, they believe in you so much, that even when you falter, they make excuses for you. And if that happened, maybe she wasn't, something must have happened. Just hear from her. Don't worry, she's not like that, or she's never like that. Something must have triggered this kind of emotion. Simply because you have developed a very strong brand for yourself. Now, executive presence also has to do with how you act under pressure. One of the speakers said that every time you get people's CV, you see things like, I can work under pressure. But truly, how many people can work under pressure with grace? It is one thing to handle pressure, but can you handle pressure with grace? That is poise. That is elegance. When you are under pressure and you can still smile, and you can still be nice to people, and you can still encourage people, that is when you know you have developed a level of executive presence. Now, organizations are looking for leaders. Organizations are not looking for followers. Organizations want to identify people who are leaders. People who they know can be self-starters. A leader is a self-starter. A leader is fearless. It doesn't mean that a leader is a gambler, but a leader takes calculated risks. He is not afraid to try. A leader is creative, he's innovative. A leader drives change. So organizations are looking for people who have honed self-leadership. The question is, you as a starter in an organization, or maybe you are in the management level, are you a self-leader? Because self-leadership is actually one of the most difficult aspects of leadership. It's easy to tell people, go this mile. Can you go that mile? It's so easy to tell somebody, be prompt at work. Are you prompt yourself? It's so easy to tell somebody, be calm under pressure. When you're under pressure, do you tip? Oh, customer excellence. Our customers are our biggest, the reason we are here. Meanwhile, when a customer comes and offends you, you just blow your stacks. Can you still hold your peace when customers offend you, when they annoy you, when they are under pressure? Do you also respond to their emotions with your own emotions? People are watching. In organizations, we have hierarchy. They are watching, but you may not know. I see people who always run away from responsibilities. When they ask, okay, we need volunteers for a particular project, how much they go pay me, sir? I beg. I don't finish my work, and one hand this one join. Now, there's a question I usually throw at people. What if your organization requested that some people should volunteer for a particular project, and you declined? And you don't even know what your organization had in store. And 2 weeks after, they got the names of volunteers. And then they publish their names and send out a memo that because of this special project, these people need some skill set. And they are going to be sent for a 1-year, all expenses paid training in the UK. How would that make you feel? Horrible. I'm Igbo. And my mom will always tell us in Igbo, I'll translate. Onwa de Madu. Hard work never kills. I've not seen anybody who died because he was working hard. What I tell employees is soak up as much as you can and stop working for money. Because it's only a matter of time. It will tell. All through my banking career, I was in marketing. And you know, it's so easy to appraise marketers because figures don't lie. It's either you meet the numbers or you don't meet the numbers. When I was a junior banker, I applied myself so well. And you know, somebody also mentioned that people shy away from training. I don't know why. You know, when I'm training oil and gas, you see all these engineers that are so full of themselves, or that they had some project they want to complete, and I usually ask the owner of the business, is this job more important to your engineers than it is to you, the owner of the job? Why is it that every time you want to train your people, your site engineers will tell you how they are too busy, and is it not when they get trained, they become more efficient on their job? They lead their subordinates better. You know, they think that because they have got the hard skills, they don't need the soft skills. But I can tell you, soft skills, lack of soft skills, is the reason a lot of people leave their bosses. And it is said that people do not leave organizations, they leave their bosses. When you have a nasty boss, no matter how much you're paid, you want to leave that job and take a pay cut in a place where you have your peace. True or false? But many people think that training is not for them. What do you think am I going to learn? And things like that. So competency is not just enough. You also have to be credible and you have to be confident as well. So this is what John Stewart has to say about competence. What struck me here is the fact that competence is a rare commodity in this day and age, and it is true. I stopped anything called recruitment. I even stopped referring people to people. Some people say there's no work, but truly, there's work everywhere. We can't find people to employ. A lot of graduates cannot speak enough English to save their lives. If you tell them that if you speak good grammar, you will not be hung, they will die. So before you get one person, you would have spoken to 1,000. Yes. It is a major challenge. So communication is a problem. So when you leave university, you need to train yourself. Embark on personal development. This cannot be overemphasized. Part of the goals that I taught the people in Port Harcourt, did I train some people recently? I can't really remember. Last week was that they must have personal development plan. It was part of it. Some of the CEOs of the organization I trained actually came all the way from Port Harcourt to here. Sendai Consulting. Welcome. This man is so hungry for knowledge. I've never seen a human being like this in my life. Anywhere he hears training, he will go. He will fly. When he told me he was coming for this one, I trained this man and his professional colleagues in Port Harcourt. He sent his people again for my open course. Now he is here in 1 week. The more we learn, the more we know. And the more we learn, the more we earn. I usually bring out quotes every week. And one of the quotes I'm yet to publish, I said, work to learn, not to earn. Because when you learn, you will inevitably earn. There's something that is called magnetic marketing. You don't just go knocking from door to door for people to know what you do. they are naturally going to gravitate towards you like bees to a honeycomb because you have something they need. Develop your competencies and you will see that people will naturally gravitate towards you. If you do not believe in yourself, I can believe in you. You must believe in yourself. And I also suggest that your confidence should be the calm type of confidence. Cool confidence. Don't be cocky. There's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance is rude. Confidence is considerate. Confidence is respectful. Confidence doesn't demonize or antagonize the other. Arrogance does. Arrogance is rude even when it is wrong. Confidence is being assertive, knowing what you want and asking for what you want in a very polite manner, considering the feelings of the next person, period. So one is offensive, the other one is not. If you say you're going to do something, ensure you do it. This is where consistency in building your personal brand comes in. Be consistent. Like I was saying, in my second year in banking, I was told to go and relieve somebody at our Owerri branch. I was supposed to be there for 3 months. The lady resumed and they asked me to stay for 1 extra month. I said, why? You want to leave me here? I was in Port Harcourt. They said, no. We wanted you to show how what you did that doubled or tripled her balance sheet when you were not there. This person was my senior. I felt a bit intimidated teaching somebody who was higher in rank than me, but I humbly just took her to the new customers that I made. As soon as I came back to Port Harcourt, they told me, you're too strong to be a backup. Go and head a team. I headed a team. It was during one of our training courses or classes that I made up my mind how much I wanted to spend in the banking industry. This brings me to the goal that Chinwe talked about. I worked with Guarantee Trust Bank for 4.5 years. Stanbic IBTC 4.5 years. I left the industry as the head of private banking Southeast in Stanbic IBTC. Now, when I was in the training school, the person who was running the training school was the one that told us about goals. Where you want to be in the next 10 years. Apart from even scaring us by telling us to write our own obituary, she told us to also decide where we're going to be in the next 10 years. Can you imagine somebody who has never got a job in his life, and next thing you're telling me 10 years again? 10 years, that was a tall order now. You know, but we had to do it. And it was there I decided how long I wanted to stay in the banking industry. And I told myself 8 years max. I ended up doing 9. 4.5 years, 4.5 years, which wasn't bad. But it wasn't clear to me what I wanted to do after banking. I knew I wanted to go into teaching because my mom was a teacher. I love developing people. But I don't have the patience for children, really. Teaching children. You know, even teaching my boys is a problem for me. But it was when I went through the training on goal setting. Being specific about your goals. Not just saying I want a Prado Jeep, but I want a black 2018 automatic Prado Jeep. It was then that in fact, it was in that class that I made up my mind, the kind of teaching I wanted to go into. And the picture became clear to me that I wanted to go into developing professionals. And I started working towards that. So my career path was very, very clear to me. I was in GT Bank, and a customer of mine recommended me to Stanbic IBTC. I did not apply to them. What am I saying? If you're in paid employment, stop working for money. Work like your life depends on it. You don't know who will take you to the next level. That person is just around the corner. Stanbic IBTC called me. When other people were submitting CVs, I didn't submit any CV. I actually bounced into the interview room in my jeans, loafers, and shirts. And I saw 3 people behind the table. I said, I didn't know I came for an interview. He said, hey, it's okay, just stay. And you know, when they are looking for you, your bargaining power is higher, right? Yeah. So they asked me if I wanted 1 level with plenty money. I said, no, I wanted 2 levels. Because they were looking for me. At the end of the day, they gave me 2 levels and the money. Sheru Shokaya, he was my senior colleague in Stanbic IBTC. He knows my story. Okay? So, this is what your competency level, your credibility, and people's belief in you can do for you. Always ensure that whatever you do, you dress, behave, and talk in such a manner that when anybody sees you, they want to do things for you. I have mentioned this about developing your personal brand because every one of us sitting here is a brand. And what is that brand called? You. There is that brand called you. Develop that brand. It's not about money. You don't need to go and break the bank to dress well. But the most important thing is know that you are a brand. You must find out that distinctive thing about you. Remain consistent about it. Be authentic about it. Make sure you add value at every time. And let your presence open doors and not shut doors against you. Thank you.